I watched that two-part story, so you don't have to. That's Kimyata, and she has a playlist on her page where she shares travel stories and the tea about them. And so this is one of those stories, and you guys tagged me in it. And so basically she introduces us to this couple named Tiffany and Trevor. Tiffany and Trevor had been together for about 8 months. They were matching up great as a couple. They both had successful jobs in corporate America. They had nice places. They had nice cars. So far, there was no red flags for either of them, and they were having a great time. Now, before she met him a year prior, she had planned a trip to Jamaica to go there with her girlfriend. So she asked him, like, hey, do you think we can celebrate my birthday a week in advance so that way I don't have to cancel all my girls? And he's like, absolutely. So Trevor goes ahead and sets up a really nice dinner for them. He gives her a bunch of gifts. Kimyata said that he did something that helps her along her Birkin journey. I'm assuming he got her a bunch of other Hermes gifts so that way she can, work her way up to buying a Birkin. And so she was really excited. She was really happy. Ended up having a great dinner. The week of her trip, he ends up showing up, bringing her a bunch of roses. He gave her more money to get her hair done, her nails done, any last minute things that she needed to take care of. The final gift he instructed her not to open until it was her birthday and she was in Jamaica. She's like, okay, cool. She packed it in her bag. She got to Jamaica. She was having a great time. Her and her girls were staying somewhere called Secret St. James, and so it also gave him access to the other sister property. So they were basically resort hopping. When they got to one of the resorts called Breathless, they ended up meeting this girl named Amber. They hit it off with her. They're taking shots. They're having a ball, and they tell her, like, hey girl, like, let's exchange numbers. Especially when they found out that they all live in the same city, they were super excited. They were like, girl, we're definitely hanging out, we'll get back to town. So she ends up having a great time with them, and then she's like, oh, let me go find my man, like, I haven't seen him in a while. And they're like, oh yeah, come back, hang out with us, bring your man if anything. And she's like, he's probably over here with his homeboys, let me go find him. So she walks off. Tiffany and her friends continue having a great time. They decide to go grab something to eat, and then they're like, you know what, I'm not really ready to go back to the hotel room, let's go party some more. So they go and party some more. Then they finally head back to the room. Then when they get back to the hotel room, Tiffany's like, well, midnight's gonna be my birthday. I wonder if I can call Trevor and see if I can open up my gift early. She calls him and he's like, no babe, wait until the morning, open it then. So she's like, okay, cool. She goes to sleep. She wakes up. She's excited to see what the gift is. She opens it up. It's a card that says, like, I love you, happy birthday. When she flips it over, it's an upgrade to an oceanfront presidential suite in their hotel room. So she's super stoked, right? So her and her girls get dressed. They go downstairs to check into their new room, and the manager's like, yeah, of course. He gives them a dozen roses. Then he tells her that their room is not going to be ready until 8 p.m. When Tiffany asked why she couldn't go into the room yet, the manager told her that Trevor instructed them to not let her go in until 8 p.m. So she's like, okay, cool. And he's like, don't worry, Trevor arranged for you and your homegirls to go to the spa and have a wonderful day. So they go over there. There was like custom robes. They got facials, massages, something called like a hydrotherapy. I don't even know what that is, but they had a ball. They go back to their original hotel room. They take a nap. They decide to go back to Breathless and have some food and hang out with Amber, perhaps, basically kill some time. So they head over there. They eventually link up with Amber, and she's asking them, like, what are you guys doing tonight? Like, what's the plan? And Tiffany's friends are like, oh yeah, Tiffany's man got her an upgrade, so we're just waiting for the time to, be 8 o'clock so that we can go and see what the room is like, Amber's like, oh my god, that's so cool. You have a good man. Like, speaking of men, like, let me introduce you to my man. Amber goes and waves over her man. He gets out of the pool and he starts walking over, and Amber's like, you guys, this is Travis. This is my boyfriend. And the minute Tiffany looks at Travis, she's like, what the hell? Immediately, she starts going off. She's like, Trevor, what are you doing here? What are you doing? Why are you cheating on me? She starts just going off on Trevor, right? And then Amber's like, girl, what is wrong with you? Why are you calling him Trevor? This is Travis. Like, girl, calm down. And Tiffany's not trying to hear anything. She's just going off. The friends are going off. All of a sudden, Trevor goes, everybody shut up right now. And all the girls look at him like, who the hell are you talking to? But also like, okay. And so he continues on and says, I am not Trevor. I'm Travis. I have an identical twin and his name is Trevor. And he looks at Tiffany. He's like, are you dating Trevor? Tiffany's not trying to hear it. She's like, don't try to pull this identical twin game on me. I don't want to hear it. Like, I know my man. He never mentioned that he had a twin brother. What are you even talking about right now? Just tell me the truth. And Travis looks at her and he's like, that makes sense that he wouldn't tell somebody that he's dating about me, because me and my brother Trevor have not spoken or seen each other in about 10 years. We do not deal with one another. And so at this point, Tiffany's like, still a little skeptical. So she's looking at who she thinks is Trevor, but actually is Travis. And she's just like, just tell me the truth. Just be honest. Just tell me that you don't want to be with me. I don't understand why you're doing all these things for my birthday, but the whole time you're over here cheating. And Amber's looking at Tiffany's friends like, get your girl before I get her. And at this point, Amber's getting pissed off. In Tiffany's mind, she's saying, I know my relationship. I don't have the type of relationship where my man wouldn't tell me that he had a twin brother. So at this point, Tiffany's pissed off. She decides to just like get up and leave and go back to the hotel room, and her friends are following her. Travis runs after her and he's like, no, listen, like I can show you proof. I have photos. Like it's been years, but I have photos. Like, yeah, me and him aren't cool, but I don't want you to be hurt because of something that me and him are going through. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me clear this up. And so eventually Tiffany stops and she looks at who she thinks is Trevor, but again is Travis. And he eventually does show her photos of them as children. And sure enough, he does have an identical twin. There's Travis and there's Trevor. And so at this point, Tiffany's like, what? Immediately she starts profusely apologizing to both Amber and to Travis, being like, I'm so sorry. I cannot believe that I just went off on you guys. Like, I apologize. And Amber immediately is like, no, it's fine. I know about Trevor. I know that, Travis was telling you the truth, but like, it's totally fine. It's understandable. Before Tiffany left, she wanted to make sure that her and Amber were on good terms. Like, I hope you understand. Like, I completely apologize. And Amber was like, girl, you're good in my books. Both Tiffany and Amber are talking about how much of a coincidence it is that they arrived here. Tiffany was like, I thought I was going crazy. I can't even believe that we ran into each other. And so they eventually part ways. So the girls go back to the hotel room, and it's time for her to go into the room that Trevor has upgraded her to, right? So her stuff has already been transported by the hotel people because Trevor told them to. And when she gets to the room, her friends are with her. She opens up the door, and sure enough, Trevor is standing on the other side of the door. And at this point, she's conflicted. She hasn't even had time to like process everything that just happened. She has so many mixed emotions. She just like runs into his arm and she's crying. And Trevor's like so confused. He's like, babe, what's wrong? What's wrong? What's wrong? And the friends just start yelling at him, just filling him in on everything. Like, yeah, we just ran into Amber. We just ran into your brother, Travis. Like, they're at the Breathless Hotel. Trevor's standing there like, you ran into my brother, Travis. My brother is here. He just starts apologizing to Tiffany, being like, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to not disclose to you the things that were going on between me and my brother. It's just something that's so negative. Like, we avoid each other. We haven't spoken in so long. Like, I just didn't want to bring that to something that was so new that me and you were building. It's such a negative part of my life, right? So he's trying to explain to her everything. Tiffany's friends check on her and they're like, girl, you okay? And she's like, yeah, I'm fine. So her friends leave, and it gives time for Trevor and for Tiffany to talk. Immediately, Tiffany tells Trevor, like, I connected with Amber. She's really cool. We exchanged numbers. We have plans to hang out in the city. Like, I really like them. Your brother's really cool. And Tiffany starts to implore Trevor, like, please make up with your brother. Like, I think it'd be a really good idea. Trevor's just like, let's just go to dinner. Like, let's go, have a great time. So they go out to dinner. And at this point, Trevor's like checking in with Tiffany, being like, how do you feel now? Where's your mental at? And she's like, I feel a lot happier now. Like, I'm so glad you're here to celebrate my birthday with me. I really thought my birthday was ruined. And sure enough, like, everything kind of worked out. She's still bringing up the conversation about Trevor and Travis making up. And so eventually at this point, Trevor had already planned to propose to Tiffany at this dinner. And so he calls over the violinist, they set the mood, and he gets down on one knee and he proposes to Tiffany. And she says, I want to say yes, but with this looming over our heads and you not being good with your brother, I want you to fix that first. At the end of the day, I want my kids to have a complete family, to have their uncles, their aunties, everybody. Tiffany told him, like, I didn't get the chance to have that growing up, and I want to make sure that I'm able to give that to my kids, especially if you're asking me to, start this life with you. And so he looks at her and he's like, well, can you just put the ring on for now? He's like, I'm willing to do that, but can you just put the ring on for now? And she's like, yeah. So they continue having their dinner. And at the end of dinner, Trevor and Tiffany head over to Breathless, which is where his brother and his girlfriend were staying, and they asked the front desk people, hey, can you call up to their room and can you see if Travis and Amber will come downstairs and, have a conversation with us? And so they called them up, and immediately Amber was like, we were just talking about this. We'll be right there. So they come down. Apparently, when the brothers first saw one another, they just like ran to each other. They just held one another and just like cried for like 5 minutes and didn't even say anything. Eventually, they were able to sit down and talk about everything and see where things went wrong and see how they can fix their relationship for the future and how they want to move in the future. So as the brothers are sitting there and talking, Travis reveals to his brother Trevor that he actually had a son and that Trevor's actually an uncle now. So Trevor is like over the moon. He's like, I'm so excited. Like, this is going to be so amazing. And so you can tell that that was going to be the beginning of like a whole new dynamic between the two of them. Eventually, she did say that they all went back home. They continued to work on this. Tiffany and Trevor did get married and they all go on family trips together. Amber and her are really close now. And it all happened in a very serendipity way, but it's very beautiful. I almost never get a chance to share happy stories, and this was like one of the first ones, and I felt really good to take the notes and film it, and I'm going to be even happier editing it. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Either way, you guys tagged me in this. I wanted to make sure I got it out to you guys. I appreciate you guys as always. Bye.